It's our second day at Weber Wenzel in Centre Johannesburg, and it's their stunning art collection that makes for a great backdrop for this edition of the Art Bulletin. Welcome to it. I'm Dumisi Dumedi, and as always, thank you so very much for staying with us. Songs from Jazz Town, which is a theatre production directed by James Ngobo, will visit 5 venues in the Eastern Cape between the 19th and the 31st of August. The production tour is part of the Market Theatre's efforts to venture into new territories and to celebrate jazz giants from the Eastern Cape.
Jazz Town, it's a fantastic production, a proudly South African production. It is looking back at the lives and the time and the music of the 50s and 60s. We have so many great artists and songwriters whom we sing their songs, but half the time we don't know who they are. You know what I mean? Very often everyone has heard Laguchonilanga or Nchilo or many others, or Segumanga. You know, half the time those people are not paid tribute to. So this show pays tribute to those legends that wrote these songs and contributed to the sound of jazz in our country, particularly in the 50s and 60s. Currently, we are doing Eastern Cape. This is a venture that is between Departments of Arts and Culture and Market Theatre, and it's starting in Eastern Cape because majority of these jazz greats and songwriters are from the Eastern Cape. You know, so we're doing Hamburg, we're doing PE, we're doing East London, we're doing Mtonjeni, Kings Williamstown, and all of those places. And then, of course, later on, the plan is to roll it out nationally.
The Braamfontein-based Wits Art Museum, which is now known as WEM, will host Ijusi 1994 to 2014 towards a new African language. The exhibition will be on for a full month, starting on the 13th of August.
1994, I started a new design studio called Orange Juice, and I had no work, so I decided to design a magazine to keep myself occupied. So I had to call the magazine something, so I called it Ijusi, which I was told was Zulu for juice. The exhibition covers all 29 issues of the magazine so far. So obviously from number 1 to number 29, each issue is a different theme. And the curators made a selection of work published in each of the magazines to demonstrate a new visual language. If I'm African, what makes me African? What does it look like? So if you visit the exhibition, you're going to see basically a selection chosen by the curators of work published in all 29 issues.
Young filmmaker Zintuli, whose works include Bomlambo and In Return, is currently on a professional high thanks to his latest work titled Hard to Get. The film premiered at the Durban International Film Festival and will open countrywide towards the end of this month.
Hard to Get is the story of 2 young troubled people falling in love and getting themselves into all sorts of trouble. It's a kind of Gussie, Bonnie and Clyde. It stars Palance Kladla and Tishiwe Zikuru, who are 2 young, hot, fantastic artists there. And basically it follows the story of this young womanizer who meets the one woman he cannot have his way with, and she leads him into a crazy journey. They end up stealing a car from the local thug, driving all the way to Johannesburg, where they get themselves into even more trouble. We developed the script with the NFEF and along with the producers, Helena Spring and Junaid Ahmed, as well as my co-writer, SABC. We were developing the script for a couple of years. It went through 15 drafts before we felt it was ready to shoot. And then we went into prep for over a month, and we shot for 5 weeks, and then we had a very quick post turnaround time to get the film ready to open the Durban International Film Festival.
Integrated online ticketing service Web Tickets recently introduced tap-and-go technology. It allows event goers to preload their web ticket cards using cash or coupons, and once they add an event or festival, purchases can be made for food, drinks or promotional goods.
The beauty with the tap-and-go system is that you may use a device in any location, okay? May you be online or offline, okay? You're not held hostage by the internet. You have a web tickets card, okay? And on that card you can load up the event, multiple events, but you go into a specific event, you arrive at the event, you can use your NFC card to access the event. Once you've accessed the event, there are different vendors throughout the event, and all those vendors will have a certain inventory loaded into the system. Use your NFC card to purchase whatever you're purchasing, and you receive your card back. Simple, seamless, it's safe, it's secure, it minimizes queues, it's safe on the environment, Obviously, you have to print tickets.
Visual artist Billy Zangewa, fashion designer Suzanne Haynes, and interactive video artist and Wits lecturer Tegan Bisto will feature at the Creative Women Show and Tell. It takes place next Wednesday at 44 Stanley's Josie Hub.
We try and bring people from different disciplines into one space. So we bring in the technologists and we hope that they learn something from art and fashion. And from the people from fashion, we hope that they learn a little bit more about technology maybe. We hope that it gets them to see the process behind work. And we also hope that it kind of expands their minds a little bit in terms of what it takes to really do something. And we hope that they leave feeling inspired in their creative fields. I mean, we've had lawyers and doctors and engineers come even, and they come and listen to creative talks. It helps just kind of open up your mind a little bit more. So you can visit 10and5.com, it's 10and5.com, and just look out for the show and tell banner on there. So 7 to 9, the 13th of August at Josie Hub, which is at 44 Stanley.
The Arts and Culture Trust Impact Awards have announced their panel of judges for their ceremony, which takes place in November in Johannesburg. The judges include, among others, visual artist David Kulwane, double bassist Hebi Tswaidi, and moving into dance pupatongs, Nadia Virasami.
I'm actually very honored. Having seen some of the names of the other judges, I have to say that I am thoroughly impressed that they chose me. I think that it is besides being an honor, I think it's good to have dance represented on the panel. I think it is an incredible platform for young and developing artists to be acknowledged as performers. It's just that, you know, arts is something that's always sidelined. So I think just having youth be not just acknowledged, but be able to see the value of the arts and the fact that they can pursue a career in the arts is incredible.
He recently completed an arts residency in Sao Paulo, Brazil. He also featured in a documentary by Art German TV. That's young Soweto-born Lensman Tenambusa, who's fast making a name for himself in South African photography.
When you photograph a picture of someone and you just stand there and read it as if it's a novel. So that's the work which I did in Brazil. It was more about myself. It was more about what happens when a person travels a lot. Yeah, it was more personal to me as opposed to just a narrative of which was about other families. Photography is more like an escape for me. It's more where I want to be creative. That's where I escape to. When I want to talk about other people, to share stories, that's where I escape to. I started photography last year, and it has been good since. It's not only Brazil, it's also Elle magazine, it's also Italian Vogue, it's also German TV, it's also, yeah, it's been good. But then photography for me now, it's just something which I used to communicate with people.
That's us and our story for today, coming to you from Weber Wenzel in Sandton, Johannesburg. If you're keen to see a repeat of this edition of the Art Bulletin or any other episode, feel free to visit SABC News Digital on YouTube. You can also let your followers on Twitter know about the Art Bulletin. The handle is @MorningLiveSABC. Until next time, it's a goodbye from us.